Hello, let's talk about using Screencast for your HighFlex courses. I'm going to go over 7 easy steps to record the screencast so you can use them in your courses. Hey, step 1, you need to think about your student learning outcomes on your syllabus or for your course or your objective. You need to ask yourself, what do you want your students to understand or know after your screencast? Another consideration is what kind of approach does your content lend itself to? A visual approach, an auditory approach, a kinesthetic approach. And so think about ways that you can incorporate those ideas into your screencasts to help your students better understand the content. Okay, step 2 is to actually plan your screencasts. What do you want to say? What do you want your students to see? You can create a script or a bulleted list of talking points if needed. You need to ask yourself, do you want only your face to show? Do you want only your computer screen to show? Or both, your face and the computer screen? Think about, will you show a PowerPoint, photos, websites, graphics, even a video? Step 3 is to go to Canvas Studio and actually record your video. And you need to click on Screen Capture if you want to have a webcam plus your screen recorded. Okay, when you click on Screen Capture in Canvas Studio, something will pop up like this. You'll have this big red record button at the bottom and you just click on the record to start recording. You can always pause multiple times during your video by just pushing that red button again. You have several options where you can show your screen only, your webcam only, or both. And if you want to change in the middle, like I've done, you need to click on this both. You can also adjust the size of what you record by pulling out these little white things right here on each side. You can adjust the screen and what it records. If you want to talk and do narration, you need to click here and make sure that your microphone is working. And computer audio, if you're going to show a video or want them to hear anything that you're doing on your computer, you'll need to make sure this is on. Otherwise, you can turn it off. Step 4 is to add captions to your video. Once your video is done and uploaded in Canvas Studio, you will see this menu across the top and you need to click on Captions. You then need to put whatever language you want, English or whatever, and request captions. If it's a short video, your captions will be ready really quickly and you can review and then edit them. If you have a longer video, it might take a few minutes and you'll get an email from Canvas when your captions are ready to review and edit. For the most part, these captions are pretty accurate. However, if you're in a technical field or a scientific field, you will probably have to do some edits on your captions. All right, step 5 is optional, but if you'd like, you can insert a quiz or questions during your screencast that the students are required to answer. Once your screencast is in Studio, you click on these 3 dots, and at the top, you will click on Create Quiz. Your video will pop up and it will have this plus button. So you play your video, and anytime you would like to add a question or a quiz, you can click on this plus and add either a multiple choice, true, false, or multiple answer. And you can add as many questions along the video as you would like. It can be graded or ungraded. Okay, step 6 is to actually assign the video in your course. You can do it 2 ways. You can put it on a page, or you can assign it if you want to grade it. So if you want your video or your screencast to be graded, you'll click Assignments. But either way, this is the icon that will pop up. This icon represents Studio, so you will click here and then click the video that you want the students to watch or you want to assign to them. Okay, step 7 is to use Canvas Analytics to assess your students' participation or even assign a grade. When your video is assigned on a page or an assignment, you will have this menu, and under Insights, all of your students will be listed below, and you can click on a student and see how much of the video that they watched. You can see if they commented on it, which is nice because you can see if there were points of confusion, questions, if there was something that really stood out to them. So this student right here watched the entire video. However, this student right here skipped over a large part of the video and didn't watch it. Okay, so here are some of my tips and tricks for creating screencasts for your students. You can start small, just record a short introductory video, kind of experiment and play around with screencasting and what you can do. Make sure that you have good lighting and aren't backlit. I know a lot of us are working from our home offices and don't necessarily have good lighting, and I want to show you something that you can get to help with that. If you go on Amazon and search for a selfie light, you will get lots of options at all different prices, but they're really nice because you just set them up on your table with a tripod, and there's different colors and lots of different options for those lights. My next tip is to make sure that you're speaking clearly and slowly on your videos so that your students can understand you. A lot of times it's easy for us to rush through what we're saying, but on video we need to make sure that we're enunciating. Okay, and this is probably the most important thing to remember. Don't try to get your videos perfect. If you pause or mess up or say a million times like I do, or if your dog barks, just go with it. Students actually prefer when their instructors are real and relatable. All right, make sure that you are looking at your webcam. If I'm actually on camera and recording myself, I really try to make sure that I'm looking at the webcam and not at a different screen or down at my notes. A lot of times I will put my notes on a little post-it note and post it right below my webcam so that I remind myself where to look. Try to include at least one interesting story or anecdote in your video. Just keep it a little bit light. You don't have to be serious the whole time, and the students really appreciate that. Keep your videos short, around 5 or 10 minutes each, and if you need longer, then break it up into several videos, and your students will do much better and stay motivated and engaged for a lot longer. And then vary your backgrounds. Maybe you could do your video from your back porch or your kitchen table or somewhere else, but it's always interesting when the background changes for your video so that's not the same in every video. Okay, so those were 7 easy steps to record a screencast for your HighFlex course. If you have any questions, feel free to set up a Zoom meeting with me or email or ask any questions that you may have about doing this for your courses in the fall.